we efi ena kusi se de wo ho bia no bedwo no mon twema na nyansa maka wo intela efi form ba no mayent na won twen na tuo nto na moje nhwengu these 4 areas sisala dagaba erim ho kwawu asamankese na moje ene kade these 4 areas sa 4 areas we sisala dagaba erim national security mo na nyentintia ho ebia na me intel na ma peke no emum entimi nyedu te se mokura mo de moma mo na nyentintia anye saa yo makawie de si ho yari oran krata akoma omampani John Dramani Mahama ono so akato wo se o hye bo se sai japadiri na obeche enunti ye hwe kwan e kan komo a ye be bodo ho ani ye de kan ye toso bi enu ne se ye sa ko yi council of state for ne sa group na constitution ne say umutu president for opa onfa ene ye be to won so aba ye ka che say we cover it extensive ye be mo we hu region bi a o ma sha se to almost started here 1 hour 39 minutes ago. Shall say no what we are. Woman no sukura no moto. Woko baby kura nipa 18 pena eto abano. Hokura de menyan te say 18 in akoto awie.
Baby kura 12 na beto.
Baby sukura nipa 12.
So this is year 6 sir.
Nipa 12. Ena ebeto. Ti ebinum kura ato awie. Aha, nti wotu wie sa ye bebie so no yakenkan. Nti obia be huni smoothness level. Our Council of State no so emu ye be hwe no go say John Mohammed 1 month until ye hwe 1 month in office well media we di bosume baako but ba me mo no akwaba
yeah gamania
abibia boko
oh agina domeye
de bia meti se wan win election bia na ye me de na sanso ye me won
I didn't say your mama.
Because the kind near my course of maybe so kai.
Oh, well, Nipa Brabom, some of these things are bound to happen.
To say we're a fighter. Why are they?
Yamina, that's it.
Where what term say me, sir? That's your 3rd term.
Yes.
Wow. From DCE to MP. MP.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Ah, dear pa. I say in fact the last 20 years there, our life in into politics.
Politics, yeah.
Ivan Akwaba.
Captain Major so.
Me shall say honorable.
Yeah.
Honorable.
Papa.
Ora.
Nedi ka me chia Atebubu.
Atebubu Joseph.
Na o programming Atebubu for hwepa enkanka my wife. Yeah, program for Africa. On the beto, diagram be sukoto.
Hey,
yes, I mean, Captain, Unyanka say air. O kwada bia nko TV no.
Sir,
enti ma menchia me repa abna. Na nso mu nyina ehwe na me nda omo nso asese na ye kan. Ni ye bia na ye Onyankopon ne Atebubu amantem pesoafo no adom ena me kisa ne amete enne. Nti mi nyom boni aye na mi nyom hwea mo so da na yembra ora captain onim se enne okukase pa ede yanim yeko katahye no proye aga na ni bia no esese se adwuma ni ho se ahokyere ewo ho ni nyina twakosi katahye ne proye na se nyo present bi wa ba wo se katahye no proye no opese otu ase ana obra no ase a ese Ghana fo nyina esore waka na omoboa no esanse ono nko as president no ontumi nye obenya papa no so obeye but apart from nipa na omo atwa no ho ahia no ministers are appoint to omo ne government officials no Ghana for ankra no nso so e wo role say you play and now no pay corruption perception this so last year na 43%. This time you above from 42%. You above from, which means that corruption na heading and money how many so because the time where 2014 you score 48%. And then you say going forward no nka ebe koso ye scores no be koso. But it is rather the opposite. Entino say ora enra pa na me te ora na asene ebia ye nuanom binom even though I supported it but I didn't actually know what they were to do until say enra mo present on report no and I don't on me say they were only to gather information and the information mo gather no is 2,417 or 2,400 plus na or the ni nyina nso adan attorney general di ne ebe kan say attorney general adwuma sono pa na e de ahye nsa no onhwe ne ba bia yie papa yo enye pepepe na obi a no ho bon bi ho bia no omunya investigation no ne no ho bia no ho nimu no no ho onfa no ho ndi ba ne omo no ho wo mu say ebia watam oman agapade bi dia ye no ho yie ananse oman agapade a se Ghana fo nyina di so mfaso ono nko afa e na odi so mfaso a ada se obema ye bema na sande agapade no ama oman no na asotwe bi a se ye de ma no bia nso ye de ma no ne omo de nso ye se bia sika e na omo afom so sika no nso no attorney general ye mpremti ne e so oye nyemum sika nya se no anse so ontue sika no na ebia watue sika aba no ese ye weka ho interest kra e de ka ho na enkoye se the court the judges the judicial system should help the attorney general because he will prosecute. He can only prosecute but he cannot pass judgment. Ebe unsa asanu beda ho a national nothing no 4 years atwam nothing na 8 years atwam na fe new government beba na be different thing altogether. Entino ora no de say ese Ghana fo nyina a omo pega na yedie omo ba omampanyin abaso say wotu anamo a ente say san say na nra na amanfo ebubu ena say president we di afi bosomi de entumi emfa measure performance but so far no anamo a president to emphasize ora we ho appointments within 14 days wa nominating your friend is saying ministers ebinum wasoe omu in so far prime ministers and substantive no de yasoe omu nyina ina aka deputies no ne antotoye bia se ototo a ebe gina so amuvu oman no em se eno no o kan obebo na abaso se wo ye no wa ho hare so pa na e wa yehwemu se ministers na wa nominate omu nyina no omu nyina nso so behu the vision of the president. And the vision of the president and the manifesto of the NDC should be their guide. Manifesto ni de we a minister, we a DC, we obenya president appointment biya no. Eso mo manifesto ni ye o Bible. Area wo so we a DC start implementing some of the policies even before the president come in. A bit to say national apprenticeship program see. If you are a DC and you have common fund, you don't even need to wait for the president to come or the government to come before you at your level. You have to start doing something. And not Ghana, baby, na yesu say Ghana be dra ye dia ko gram na dongo no. But the next 2 years, na yesi who say enema ye dia gugu afom na asase eso abapa na promises adima tumanfo nso so no na ya asase edi so emfa so na ye hye so so enti captain obisa so far about the aura, I can say it's a good thing, and we shouldn't just leave it like that. Say, "Ebia, ya be drew, ya ban for front, you know, yeah, na I send your poto, cause I can say 9-day wonder. It should be something, and the fight against corruption. And the president can say, me, or say Ghana will no longer be a safe haven for corruption. And if Ghana will not be a safe haven for corruption, yeah, you're trying to question in I say, yeah, my home so now the police, the security agencies, the law enforcing agencies, for individuals. You see something, say something. Whatever we see na minor, we shouldn't keep quiet. Just orano 2,000 plus complaints. It means that amount forward and some shisha hopa amount to me but with this one I'm more quiet. I'm a nipando duona me na me gidi say binimu kra no wo ha eniama e show mutrimu amonya nkokan e kra ebi wo ho. So we should still encourage those people. We should encourage them. Yan show mum cry say omum fa nyomu nimbia anya de embra na say kanya ora. Some of these things would have gone under the carpet. And when so aba out no so no obi wo ho kra e be boa e be clear ono ankasa ebi na adwin bi wo say oh captain kontome asasi ebia ne di wakoji ba ene hwehwemu an ehu say enya no captain Christ ebia kra oni asase around that area ono so no ho ayede asun sign no come. So I think it's a good thing. We must encourage it.
I mean, call Ivan, ora.
Captain, the can mention na mention or tea for na mention honorable. I think the second time in the next year.
Okay.
OSYZ. Okay. Yeah. So, Captain, the account ora yeah, so far so good. It's early days yet to pass judgment on President Mohammed's government because 1 month there enough. There. Yes, but I think the signs are so far demonstrating somebody will go back to the bench. Was here most of his mistakes. Back, he's making amends and trying to do things differently. And I think that is why the last time I was telling you, some of the decisions, executive decisions, are intact. The clarity of thought, that kind of way. So I think so far so good. With this oral thing, I am very familiar with the sort of bastardization started when the committee was set up. People were arguing the legal backing, the legal framework, regulating. Minim when ye hear legal framework and say set up a committee to receive some of these things. But now I catch you say, oh, no, any prosecutorial powers say or prosecute will be. They don't have power to set charge or invite or be say chin my information. They are there as a platform and receive just information from Ghanaians. At the end of the day, Omonsaka said the Omonsaka and Roya, what the common president, he will forward it to institutions or more prosecutorial powers to do further digging and investigation. Onya evidence, not evidence, our value. Our meeting so as standing the test of your first prosecution at court, then we proceed in that particular direction. Because about 2 years, a drive the elections, a perception of corruption. And we got to a point here now it was no longer perception, but faces were rather placed behind the corruption cases. And if we drew a point, Ghana for be so numb with the issues, but that's all right. And the corruption, if you are you don't even get space to discuss. My cultures are politics, and and issues of corruption. But because young fan chair and I say no, Captain, a perception and they inform me everything. So at the until last night, my cultures are quite sorry them near the tools so offer will be here. But me so me the money, but in politics, me the money is not there. Because it is the perception that informs among for political opinion and the choices that they make. So we are politicians, as we are government, you must always move in to dispel any notion of corruption. And then so we check here institutions or measure corruption, they use perception. Because I know that they what people see, and they inform their thought and everything. So the move by the president, and I think that is appropriate, it also emboldens public confidence because say in recent times, a man for trust or more in the establishment or government, I reduce you, a man for any trust. It got to a point that the government was somewhere, and I say watching what will happen. But if you begin to do some of these things, it will engender and inspire people. Say, oh, Abani is serious. He's really fighting corruption. And I think that the public support you can enlist it to do this particular thing. Because the nature of human being is such that so we we are naturally dangerous and very corrupt. And he always, man must make sure that there are consequences and repercussions for every decision and choices that you make. But we live in a country where there is no conventional deterrence. The consequences are there. So that you create a free range. And it's the reason why we saw what happened. So this oral thing, the amount of money, the estimation, so what is the kind of sebi now to one we crash show so manya yeti kwa abonten kwabo bosia $3 billion yet meet na kroma kwabra need me we are over about 20 billion. Clearly it say we need to do a lot to salvage the situation. So I think that is a good move that will embolden public confidence. Now said it shouldn't be just populist politics or populist approach. Oh ya can ya ban a few days ya bwabo ankrata and whatever nothing happens. And I don't know the day Atebubu prove crucial in this fight against corruption has to do with the court. Captain, we need to touch the court. Because I know the day, the whole prosecution is going to happen. We know what happened in the previous administration when there was this desperate attempt to pack the court. The question they say na honorable Sikano, enkonkwaye case ye pia adeni nyina kogu ho a 4 years ni ndi asem no wie. Ghana for want swift reaction and response. Na enkoye back and forth. I don't support the idea of setting up your friends Kufuor pens or fast track high court and as well. I don't support it. But there are ways we can fasten some of these prosecutions. There just crock the jaw and there is real commitment. I end up pinning this particular thing because Captain going forward in Sono, it's not just about previous what has happened. What will happen to these people should also send a clear message to people who will be in this government. So politics governance going forward, it's no more business as usual. The mere fact that what this particular government in Muno doesn't give you the license and the audacity to mess up. Mess up, abina be you wama. You prosecute too. Because that is in politics, the easiest thing to do is to prosecute your political opponent. It's easy. But the raw deal comes when you take upon yourself to prosecute your own people. And I think that is where we need to tell people, say, the rest is yours. So ahemfone asofo na omonam dan achi na ye kopacha wo na so ora we ya buy prosecution be sha say enye nwanwa ahemfone asofo be sha se e kopacha ma omonana no mo fase nom. So I know the energy ya de yes ade we nyina no wo be he na ni nyina akofom. I know the day Obia Belusu God and everything goes. Then we come to an era of corruption once again where people think say politics is an avenue I can easily make money and get away. Captain, now this hostile intrusion, a lot of people, everybody want to do politics. Because that is the easiest way to make money in this country. Because there are no consequences for actions I think that we really need to send a message say governance, privileged position, for unim dia no wunyan saboa na yan chechiro man sebeya I know the ordinary and the average Ghanaian na all need those opportunities ne privileges na wo no ono benya that particular benefit na be an avenue a conduit where people go make money I know they get away there are no consequences na no na make sure South Korea omo president and na man investigators call Konano because of issues of corruption I know what happened the whole sitting president was investigated. And this is the height that these people have elevated the fight against corruption to. By the other day, easily, but those who are stealing millions of dollars, they get away. So I think there is a wake-up call for all of us. issues of corruption as a future prominently in this administration because one of the reasons Ghanaians voted. Exactly. We don't want to see corruption. Yes, and you cannot afford to fail the people. And the first you need to pay few people in the media. You control the political narrative. The corruption and that win to me, Captain. The space has widened. And then yesterday now I was telling somebody saying that there are no consumers of news anywhere. We are all prosumers. We are producing and consuming at the same time. Yeah. Because once you have the capacity to go on social media and post, you are producing news. You read Obidia, you are also at the same time consuming. So we are all prosumers. The platform has widened with this new innovative tech platforms, You can't control the narrative anymore. Wouldn't even come out. Few traditional media can almost set the agenda and people will discuss government. And you see the youth are becoming wide awake and enlightened, following issues of politics with keen interest. And this they can easily tap on their phone, do comparative analysis, or they compare other countries, this is wrong and so forth. So the best thing any government can survive in this country, and they say obey the right thing. Now what making sure say you serve the people diligently. Now issues of corruption and as for bar, obey show real commitment. Now ya fighting. Because with this new government, Ghana for are not expecting governments or kotoka mobi and now mobi cash at the bottom do the right thing, and that is all that the people of this country want. Captain, you don't understand the veil of desperation hanging around this country. Young people come out of the university, there is absolutely nothing that they can do for themselves. And I know a lot of people are with degree programs and so forth, but they are traveling to Middle East and other places just to work for money. And sometimes working conditions out there. It's so funny. Sometimes you begin to wonder. But these people are going because on minor team, Captain, opportunities be anyhow. The last time I make a show about your mineral regime, I okroma say, yet me gold, yenya diamond, nano yenya lithium, na yade ya fra man for moma jimuntu na moma 10%. Sometimes you begin to wonder why first why you're. And this initiative, also in the community, the people there are deprived. The last time we spoke about Obuasi, and now Obuasi land and answer to the extent there is nothing that any young person living at that particular place, can use the land to do. Yeah, to assassinating in say now no lithium. We spoke wisdom to the president, but he was not amenable to those concerns being raised by the people. I know the day, the lithium now. You know very well, so lithium is the new gold because the world is going green.
That's right.
And when you're such natural resources, what you have to do is you partner companies of more resources, you pay them, you own the thing, you set up a plant, you create job opportunities and incentive for people. But now you're 21st century, you're gold, you're lithium, no? Say, 10%. We were celebrating these things. Now, no one was a Botswana. Your friends saying, Diamond Company, one of the biggest diamond extraction company in Botswana. They've gone to the stance of doing 50-50 at this time. Even though me 50-50 I disagree.
Yeah, sure.
You understand? By 10-90, 15-85. Now how a man for a language in poverty, where people are being impoverished in this country, especially in this community, the veil of hopelessness. People traveling Ghana for Mugu Libya because but the opportunities are not there. I think the government needs to sit up. We see there is a lot to do. That is why the last time who said your more be position no more jubilating. Me say this is no time to be jubilating. Sure. Because you don't understand the enormity of that has been given to you. You mess it up. There you see how Ghanaians will go after you. You understand? The mere fact that people voted for NDC doesn't mean that you come and mess up and everybody will go quiet. No, you need to take into cognizance that particular support now, the confidence now, and you deliver on that, so that Amamfo will continue to invest that particular trust. Now you build the governance. Now you reposition your friends at Ghana. Now you changing the political narrative. Now people will not assume say, oh, politics is a chrono. Now you say a avenue. You had the build your mind. Now you did the phone and I say for the bedroom. Now adventure. Now you had the mind or mind. And you have fertile avenue to come make money, and then I know they take care of your family. You take your family outside and I say for no. That is the notion we are seeking to kill. So I think that's so far so good. Okuja Tony the team. And those on the other side are now more engaging in this cynicism, creating an impression say a witch hunting. Captain, we are witcher. You will be hunted. So we are witcher. You will be hunted. Now we more crown or how on saying. Yeah, so when why you're born here, then you should be worried. Because it is not the president that is going to prosecute you. It is the people of this country. Because Abra President Mahama Yane campaign, Opa, I checked some of the indices among for year. Do you know that one of the reasons people voted for him the aura?
Oh yes.
Yes. One of the campaign promises gaining a lot of traction because we got to a point who said corruption among for real to a point I would describe it. So the only way is to come out with such an initiative to recover that particular thing. And to overpower, you cannot afford. Is the reason why I'm happy. Say one of his earliest decisions that he took at the time, showing commitment and the respect for the people of this country. Said, this is what I told you. This is what I'm going to do. And that energy, now see the pursue this particular thing. You're making sure, say, yes, set to the stage. And Ghana, we've established that conventional deterrent so far as corruptions are concerned. Oba. You will be prosecuted, you will be hunted. And trust me, there are a lot we can do to save this country. And yes, sir, Captain, on my way, you better politics, are dirty and this MPP politics, depending on where you stand across the political divide. And the bear informing your opinion. So I said me a wrong crowd, you defend it, we all get away. I think that now, Ghana for a wide awakening. They are following the issues. Is the merit and a man for a share, not the other side, the politics and the emotional activism. We are looking at the political, saying the governance aspect of Ghana for a DE. And I think that is what we need to come do. So government it meet trust or the government will be able to enlist the collective strength and the support of all Ghanaians to rebuild the Ghana we all want. And I think that is the best way.
All right. And then we came about come power, but Council of State, Honorable Kakra. Na Ivan Fakakran so na fe. Ye ko nchene so.
Okay.
Ye be kan nchene ho asem.
Council of State. Say na odi kan kan ene na omoto omoso aba. Na 16 regions no obia be yi nipa baako e de abeka ho. Na President ewe kwenya so ofa nipa baako 15. Edeka ho. Emu for no ye some guarded former IGP, former Chief Justice,
former CDS.
So those and the regional house of national house of chief,
the president of the national house of chiefs.
Yes. Na ono na 11 account na near udi kan say omo na two president for. But Ghana constitution is on your binding.
Yeah.
So now the can no. Then say a foot will be at the sanity. Me took foot me say Captain. O program ye say my dream am actually. But it's not binding on you.
What can one dream?
So but we are praying say regions now be to abanina 2 assembly members from each district. Oba akoto abano on oba akoto abano omonhwe nipa sebio owo nimde ewo amambu ho na obetumi aboa president niama no bebre wo ho a yise president dane de ma omo for omo afuto even appointments bi no kura wo ho a se ese ogi afuto free omo ho ansana sa appointments no adimu. So they be here nipa omuye level headed. Said papa we die. So okoka president ho na otunufo a obetunufo a ebeboa Ghana fo. Ebi ni say ye ka corruption any bribery asin katashe ne proye na ebia nipa no a oti ne community no kra no nipa na dodo na omuye nipa atitrufo pa na omo dodo no ya ahemfo aye nim sene ebia oye ohene no oman hene ananse ohene bi a the area homu nim dwuma odi so odwuma odi na say dwuma ne di no ho adanse se oba obetumi abeye na enya ne oba bepe no ho ananse ye kase na corruption ne bribery na ono nso so already kra mu ni say ne ho ebon onyema bi ho so e be stress delegates no they should look at things very well. And normally, eba sa electoral college system no ye side of the country and I say world na electoral college system no emwa bebre because the numbers are very few and obi wo ha he can marshal all the resources to just buy the few. My region like the Nipa 22 na ekoto aba 11 districts Nipa 22 so obi a nani abre pass and answer or bibi say you know he can easily influence the delegates with money. I have to say there are just 6 districts 12 and ekoto aba oko Savannah Nipa 12 northeast the same thing so Nipa 12 there you can easily but ni nyina mu no a gentleman does not refuse an offer a offer na Nipa ne de ma but a man in towabi so you say pay party ya dane sika ya dane sa position we mana eniama enkoyie but san say wa mo sikenti no and also he's the highest bid until maybe yakoto aba amano because the man present JM nani abre say obeye adwuma enti ese nya nipa ono nso betumi ayede aboa no ama eniema watoto niema yie na say sana yekokotwa no troka na chese yekoye ana say ye buy enti captain the best the delegates no ye na council of state no so ni obewi ni bia no so no ye man netrin kwa na yasre ne so no so dwumadie na omo be shan nsan no eye dwumadie soro nwa asoro pa omo ba omo nya ni eyie emaye Ghana ho hia ye nyina.
All right. And to say ye di kan e ka kire wo no ebi koso na obi anwe obi so dia wo ho omo enwe ne ko kakran northern region inipa nine ene gina se yento won so aba Alhaji Mohammed Mumuni Richard Andani Yakubu Enafe Inyandi Abdul Rakib ene Adam Hussein enipa ekọ ho se wo kwoto abani na ye 32 watu wie no na Adam Hussein wenya 0 obi anto ama no Inyandi Abdul Rakib wenya 2 adedam so mu di fiase ekọ soro to di ode asepa nya 0 ena Richard Andani Yakubu sunya 4 ena Alhaji Mohammed Mumuni onya 26. Wow. And this say ya me no kase no Alhaji Mohammed Mumuni ono na ye Council of State member elect Emma Northern Region.
I'm a former MP.
Patrane.
Okay.
Ti ono se ya me no kase Northern Region police abeti bi di atoso ye yi ono preko nya dia o mo chekura o mo nchero ho kura 943 ya kan awie ye yi no to Northern Region ato ne de awie eyi nipa obegina one name so mo Council of State member Lucas Yerian and ye presiding officer o hwe ye ema bato yi etimi eko so fe ti say ya me no kasa ide obi atene ho ase agent no Abdullah Baba na jiremu ma Alhaji Mohammed Mumuni dini de aka no nkrofo no mo trot se doctor for enti me hu bi ye me hu Abubakar wo ho Sadat on jiremu ma Adam Hussein ene wo aka ne one doctor Adina ejine mu man Yandi Abdul Rakib Enti Northern region yewie ya to yewie mo wini no win wa wan win no so na eno ano no it's obvious
yes mo
enti eno na doubt TV no so no it is say out of 16 ye de ba ko a kire o de akade na ye de betoto aso but it's a central region and so ato awie and abono awie ahafo ato awie Volta ato awie Easton ato awie Greater Accra fo guso enti ye de bebre wan san ya sori yakọ ye be hu de
Captain, so the composition of Council of State, you and I will admit, composed of revered individuals and penning for him for Kessie, are Ghana for respect for them. But in the last 8 years, I mean, open one institution, Ghana for bastardizing a Council of State. It got to a point Ghanaians were rendering it useless. So it was one of the most useless institutions in Kenya. Because the core mandate na Ghana for expected from them say that is not what we were seeing. Because it got to a point that now president was taking reckless decisions. I said, now why need to buying for? And do as a Council of State and need to buying for. I understand advice is not binding. Said is he cannot power no power but I also believe that we will be for now consistently or say on fire. The best thing you can do is to resign.
That's all.
Because you don't sit there and be taking fat salaries and enjoy those things when the person you're advising, is so intransigent. Say, okay, so am I Ghana for lose respect for that particular your friends Council of State? May until say we redefine it and assign a different role and I say you be define roles or play clearly. I'm not too convinced about the impact the Council of State will have on our governance system. I know that there are huge money in a year trogu, but if you are being paid, I think that people should be able to assess a dear war value. But if it is advice is not binding. I know that the president is not under any instruction to take whatever that is being said to him or whatever. So I think constitutional review now, we need to take some of these things into consideration. Now you look at the functions of the Council of State. Now you're making sure that it look relevant in the eyes of Ghanaians. Because it's not just about the people in, it is about how people see what you're doing and how they accept and appreciate it. And I think that and then they drive this particular conversation. And then you walk I mean, yes, among folk when say about Council of State people don't know. People are not interested. You understand? Actually, the value I lose in recent times because of what happened in the last 8 years. In the past, it comes with some veneration. But for the last 8 years, so individuals going in, I think that they have a responsibility just to ensure I rebuild the tattered image of the Council of State. Now you are rebranding it to a point Ghana for me who say sabi emfaso so adwuma mu dia ye no enu nie. That is the only way. Anya sa captain you betimi ato aba yi amanfo de omo akọ you turn out to be the same thing emfaso bi amaso. So they have a responsibility. Yeah, to Obama, no, it's not just a make a keke. Oko make impact, make your impact. Yeah, then I will Ghana for feel say these people are doing this, and I'm almost so. So another day, say yeah, Tanasia say Obia way you be who your hand in the way and manner things are going, and that is the only way Ghanaians will appreciate. And Captain, answer me can't we honorable another pre.
So to say NDC MPP.
Yes.
Oh.
I wonder why the IGP arrested by this time. Captain, because you cannot make such reckless statement in public and get away with it. And as you know, and as if nothing has happened. Say an ordinary person being a making this particular statement. A violence and are inciting, and this is a person who is supposed to be an honorable person representing people in parliament. When you do that, you drag everybody around you into the mud. Then people begin to question whether you deserve the prefix honorable or not. And I've seen a lot of social media debate. I know that it's because of this behavior. And in recent times, Yehu Niema Akoso, Was it not the same gentleman who could parliament car say NDC for saying so ni China Montino it's okay. Okay.
Okay.
Abra Galam say issue about ye debate. And the same thing, and our committee shall say, behavior, air coso, ye bubu microphone, and as a forum is the same person at the center of way, and then Yababedruha. I think, sir, you see, say the Jumadia show, sir, Captain, it doesn't mean that when you mean such a Ubiao. A Yahoto and a Nipanya Muse at this point in time, you are the person who can help us deliver this. And I think that we need to replicate that by respecting the people. By speaking in the way I said, but consistently you go crazy, make loose, reckless statements, and you think that people respect you for being just honorable. No, I like your friend saying, Speaker of Parliament, when he told them the honorable members, before people will respect us, we need to respect ourselves. What is going on in Parliament? It's so embarrassing. It's not everybody though, but Captain, when you sit around and the perception and the impression people are having about this particular thing going on, it's not nice. And you can't be making such reckless statements and get away with it. So I'm employing the IGP. Say what? Because who's a man for the toy gun, a video, social media, or dear chile kwachi Mahuso be a video, say baby, or in some kind, they're police for draw a kwachi. Asema papa na kan ye no, I think he must be arrested. And I say yam friend now me church him because or endanger the life of people. Ghana no na you know you be do a point among 40 politics I say. So say nsem hunu no o kan kro obi amfiu. But there are other people one way ya omonso no be carry on with those things. Right. We can't live in a country where people will be making such reckless statements and in the name of whatever they just get away with it. I think the IGP must rise to the occasion. Now we show leadership say we do not condone such things. And the NDC majority in Parliament, they have the absolute numbers. But I think that they cannot afford to show weakness. Captain, numbers now all parliaments is here. The NDC has absolute majority. The minority cannot influence anything. So psychologically, what you can do is to create a scene, create hostility, aggression. Your presence will be felt. Yet to about when they're running the show, is it not a minority? They are running the show. Do you know why? Because they don't have the numbers to influence any decision. The only way they can do is to ensure that they create that hostile environment for you so that you cannot do whatever you're doing. Politics, and your Pentecost meeting, no, you need to show people say you are not weak. If you have power, you need to project that power. The minority then, the NDC, when they unpassed all of them, Edru Okuja Tone, your friends say, some Georges, a branch away, what has one running, sir. Naka ye probably hurry and saw and can you because at the time I offer for the second betting, now a bubble senior to the sense I can't watch them any Ghana for were angry. They were looking for I said that guy will not get a pass. But NDC and co washing and sa but this time round, Okuja Tonya Pio, the Oya say or what to fight corruption. Sam George, the Oya answer or Cherna but a fellow marking them go so I'm telling you, sir, we need power. You need to project power. Politics is not Pentecost meeting. You need to show and project that power just to let your colleague who say we are weak. Because once you show weakness, you are done. And I see that signs of weakness in the other side, even though they have the majority. I think they need to tell their colleagues on the other side say they are not weak. They have absolute majority and they are in charge and they are running the show.
Bam. Honorable, I don't know what to talk now. Tables, no.
Well, that did not me but not me also.
Okay, baby, and then I say 8th Parliament, 9th Parliament, no. As a more young mother to say, Kuala Mudin, the team grow. Why?
I say, Captain, you say, I say, the 8th Parliament was a very unique Parliament. And for the first time, we had a hung Parliament. Or, in other words, we say a balance. 137, 137. Now, independent. Yeah. So there was that struggle for recognition or whatever I should say. Well, And the way we did things was different. And I presented Ghana for with opportunity to make certain amends. And the first group to take the step was Parliament to amend our standing orders. Say, yeah, the standing orders. Yeah, I say a Chinevino
hang Parliament.
Hang the Parliament
will happen.
It is a hang Parliament by. So hang Parliament now and take advantage of things that has happened. Now new standing orders to reflect going in the future. The same thing, our constitution also did not also make provision. Say, when we in a situation now, when we so resolve. And the command say, if Parliament a year and at a point, parliamentary proceedings they call judiciary. And then
there be more paper.
Yes,
yeah, more best shares our Parliament national. More papers.
Yes, and it was because it was a hang Parliament.
And then where's the hang Parliament?
And that is why I'm coming at. Look, say and they say it will be madness. Excuse my language. Say time I speaker no. Nanka MPP. Akofa nipa ba say. Baby NDC. Ye ya dwen kire no. Omo ebi omo mpe ho nti omo de nipa ba.
Oh, there be the CPP file a candidate.
For speaker.
There is CPP file a candidate for 2024 election. Tell them can you? Me am a party.
So, but in that 7th Parliament, the only thing we needed, say, if we present a candidate, an MPP present a candidate, we only need to convince 1 or 2 people from the MPP side to vote in our way. And the issue about Parliament, that is how it is. In the time past, first deputy speaker and second deputy speakers, when they are presiding, they don't vote. And it wasn't a problem because the numbers were there. But and then, some say hang Parliament numbers in the now about said that be and there's a first deputy speaker of the constituency in a buy, second deputy speaker or representing Nkrofu, and the identity or presidia on Twaba, and eventually about Betma. And no na MPP for no fee say, well, na NDC for no opposition. Ye and near maybe an answer a pressure via. Yan so even though a 88, and we should revenge. Start sort of a revenge be and but now it can't work. And I say I'm a control show no, I'm control show no. So only akwada eko kotobwa. Ye hono mo akanfo de se koto na ya mkobo. Ye akura. Nkura na ekotu. Enti two first akura na we gya ma akwara no. Going forward now, so akwara no kura kum dudu no obenan dia ide. Gya. So we are just giving them a long rope. Not that we don't know what we are doing, but I know, and you see, the minority will have their say, majority will have their way, but we don't want it to be clearly shown. Say we want to have our way, but let us allow them. No one so encan your munim, not Ghana for. Niamusha say Nancy, say Ghana for. See, Ghana for. I started judging them, passing judgment, and going forward, things will change. And a Lucy no so ankasa no MPP Lucian and also abo mu pusa, and that sort of frustration so Ghanaians should allow them to vent their
we are not looking at them as
their frustration.
No, we are not looking at say minority and as a majority. Some kwala agro na mu di parliament ho no.
See, Captain,
like mo nyina no sabe mo nyinyini
and
yakosan line.
We are in a privileged position. People respect us. Yes.
Yakoto abama mu. Asem yenya yeto abama mu no mubu yense yemwa. Cause mo nye mo mbo mo bra ne yie ti se mo amanyini. Minim di America.
Captain, where the beer obey you see beer no.
Ena mukodru ho no. Say ye back, say ye mienu. I can hear you loud and clear. Now, vetting.
Na table.
Enye MP baako. So I will say MPs. Table. As a kwala work in the garden classroom, Madam Amba, no more din krama engro. Na microphone na yede aban sika na aton. Na mabudu. Mu wie ya, mo de ye nchemo. But obi de bo kitwe bi abobi ka ahwehwem. Ya chena tum.
Yeah.
Obi aye bibi kitwe bi wo baabi. Yes, we destroy obi property. Ya chena tum. Ba mo masai akonwa, masai epono, masai microphone.
Captain. Nia okam ya, sa no kan bia no. Sa na esa okano. But the point is that speaker atu anamu. Se say am no kase. Committee na speaker atu se omunya adwuma no. MPP side ni so omo abokoto. Enya ade ombe tie hearings no ombe ko. Okay. Ye invite omo ma. Ena Ghana fo nyina nsusu hu asam no ne fareba. Ba bi e hya ase. But yes, natural justice ni say obema obi akwan na waye den. Waka na asem. Ena speaker ti committee. Enya sa de a nka minum yenu ba bi asam na ye den. E hya ase afiri. But yemma obi akwan na omeka na asem no skra mo so omma. Enti yentwe na committee no present o mo report. Na yentwe speaker Adamu obetu afa ho. Se esese enkonya ye to. Nkonya na ewu no ye to ana etua ho ka. Microphones na ya say na say etua ho ka. Because na me ka say me wo na me ni ho no. That day na omo veti Sawa MP transport minister. I was enti ewie na me nenam. Enti ono wie ya na of me no pie ye. Me ko duru me office am so me TV na hu say na pinche no esio. But before you be free or no, now you say opposition for no can it will not happen. It will not happen. Personally, I didn't know what because one committee no what will not happen. I didn't know. So a buy. And no can papa muna anka committee na yat. Am speaker cry I suspended bimu. Am mo de patch buy or so you may mo adwuma na emu committee no enya hwehwemu na mo fa report mra. Enti mo entwen committee no report. Ya entwen committee no report na ye sha say ye be ka ho asem bebra. Anhwe ya na ya tutu carbon.
Captain, I think you see gradually minority move away from being minority into a subversive group. The omo ye nyina is to ensure a smooth running of parliamentary activities will come to a halt. That is the motive. Makatra why? Because they need to employ hostility and aggression in order to be relevant. And this committee, a speaker to say yeah, probina Ghana for whom whatever that happened, almost omonko. So I know that the key witnesses and people who are supposed to give us a closure on this matter, nobody is going. So I know that the committee report is going to be one-sided. Now as to whether implementation of whatever be the outcome, no crab reflect the exact situation. That's another thing. So I'm saying, you need to see these people going forward. Trust me, this parliament way is going to be the most dirtiest because it's the same approach they are going to employ throughout. That is why the speaker needs to up his game. Now, on redesign the method how to handle the situation. Because you have the numbers, you have absolute majority to do whatever. I can't do anything. I'm just observing. That's not my catcher said. They're just observing. So observing, I need to create a scene so that I'll be relevant. And that's exactly what is going to play out. So I think and we've gotten to a point that this are a group of people you are going to elections and they've lost miserably. As a normal person, this is what you do. You do sober reflection. You begin to ask, near I go wrong. I can tell you, one of the reasons why MPP lost miserably, arrogance. Arrogance, one of the key. But that is exactly what is being extended in Parliament. The clerk of Parliament. And look at the language, look at the tone, look at the posturing. Kasa to one another. So clearly, we have a long way to go. And the speaker need to rise to the occasion and say, I'm the man in charge. And yes, sir, because these people, they are so determined, this is what they are going to do. And the integrity of Parliament, Because I've seen in recent time they've held a lot of people, privileges committee. I question when I want power to hold people, you are abusing that power because there are people within the house. They are more than impunity. They are more than contempt. So how dare you leave those people? What is your moral conviction? Say, Uja another umpreho be say, citing for contempt. It means that you have the power and you're abusing it. And as you continue to abuse that power, and I get to a point that people will not take you serious anymore. So I think they need to look within. Na sa nema we are yekan. Omonsa say nya ho adwuma. Anya sa nema baji nsamu. That is what I'm saying.
All right. Mame Damas na me fancy na sana ebe ko fine toso no so no. Menka belated happy birthday to His Royal Majesty Nene Sakiti II, the corner of Manya Krobo traditional area and the president of the Eastern Regional House of Chiefs. Nene, happy birthday. Mente kasanonka kamede kabima o fine pa nyamisha. Ose and then masters ana.
Yeah.
Ivan, masters in the
Public health.
Public health. Where you were University of Ghana, Legon. And then obe graduate. Ivan Ekojine ne certificate. With the PhD better super one.
You better share.
Yeah. Yes, you ever heard that? Yambe ya don't ever pay school ako.
Adwuma ne here. Adwuma ne here. The impact, you know. And then here. Yes.
Yeah, who they beat me. I can't hold. Nene. Sakete. Happy birthday. Mami 2 minutes Parliament done when I'm in fact the next chapter then she so na fe. You show Nina. Maybe see
Yes, it's not easy, but it's all part of it.
Wow. Wow. And I congratulate you.
Thank you.
Ghana to say.
Oh, Alaska. I think that political space, Nema Bebre Egum, especially this week. From Kendo Foriata, Special Prosecutor, National Security, and the Kyei AG.
That's right.
At discontinue on some of the cases and also generate is whole lot of issues are echo. And said that we see our job is to just look through some of these critical issues with a very objective lens. Now you share kwanya befaswa. The year is part of the governance process.
Very well.
And some of us we are committed to changing the political narrative. Not those old dirty politics na nam so ama ye jina babi ye jina no niema besisa. And going forward, no, you bet me I build a new narrative about drive human development. And that is what we are committed to do. So I think a lot happening. And I know I said that Missika actually be say almost 1 month into Mohammed's administration, too early.
That's right.
To pass any judgment. And from where I sit and the little things that I have seen, I think that he's on course. And Sanema to also say regarding some of the major decisions he's taken, investigations, setting up teams, cutting down size of government, stopping land sales. Your friend saying ordering investigation into national security scandals and a whole lot of way. So that commitment, it was na ye say na say Nema bibetimi pm free more, but I think that Ghana for anybody. Because Alaska, we've gotten to a point a man for Obia withdraw the support from government too.
That's right.
It got to a point and now abine si baby and Nipano si baby.
Obiam
people were not interested in, but then we need to rebuild confidence. Sabaya or the Nipano Baba count. And it's a way a government. Na nema wo ye nyina e push people back. You should know say a time will come you'll be alone. And I think that everything this government should do must gear towards rebuilding public trust and confidence in the institution called governance. Sabaya or mind bit imagine national name. So I think that is what we are doing now. Here has a name of
Right, that was Ivan Kyei Innocence. And this takes us to 29 minutes to the top of the hour at 4 p.m. Alan de Graft Kwanzaa, incoming MC. Everybody called here.
The champion, Ivan.
Now, as a position, and Gasano, or presidency, the amount, and a show bottom.
Because
I was in Ashama today. You a mid-morning show. Now, who do one when we are MC? I say, hey. And another, I do contract a lot of wine.
It's true. Ashama was quite the win here,
and Unya's position, a advocate, what advocate to say, Yenya Shama Quintia.
That is it. Then that is exactly what has to be. I know never say Yama Shama for. Na Shama Krumunyefe.
Right.
No future na many, you know, to be try.
And once that we should be be papa. Once again, I put
because the next 4 years, you know, yeah, she say the papa is essentially John the man, the party in the Babano. Ashama for Bejina too. Na imagine I am my MPP of 47,000. It be increasing to about 60,000. Make a margin.
That's right.
2 times more vote too. 2 times more vote in the done chain.
Okay.
But in terms of gap, no, you're more than 60,000. The Nina Bejina and Namo Ebitu. And in near Bay, fitting a quacopin 2028. Naminim say, Senator Papa is essentially John Romani Mama, a tuna namo. Make a share denum, say, Yenim answer as I'm ready to do. Nasa overpass na Papa and Adrian so you know, Ajikuju Haseno, a baby. Okay. Friends, a mutu run about no. I fake. So na mutu we na say we sania. You feel proud?
Oh, that's right.
Of the man, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the vision man. He's resetting Ghana.
The visionary leader.
The visionary leader. Yes.
And the visionary MC.
Thank you. Welcome to make Ashama great.
Alan de Graaf Kwanzaa, Ashama Constituency Secretary or spy. As we bad, I did not do need the say afa. Ivan, my main one shots here. A week in no fully packed. You share that of what done for Kisia Jabi, Aquano Maman. Any issue, I'm with the one offer.
Alaska, I think that's what I was kind of issues, you know, are very packed issues. Your father saying, say, oh, follow the course within the media. There are a lot that you can say. Follow keen public interest, and I think I generate a whole lot of conversation. To begin with, my man started from your friend saying, raid be a course why I say national security and that particular raid. No, initially, right. You know, almost that particular raid, you know, but I think I told you said, say national security. Alaska, I think that maybe a year drew a nay in a government way, no. A man for person you be throw your back into those things now happening in the past in Ubium. Some of that sorry national security as I said to na second year ko be fie with that sanya man no be in crisis. I must be very honest with you, and I don't expect such thing to happen this time. Because so where near my coso say national security sorry I ko be fie. These are things I know what radio way, so I condemn it in the past. Whatever be the reasons, you know, I think that there are processes and other stuff you can go through to do that. But to just get into somebody's private home in the name of Mekosachi, we come kana warrant and as if we know and where we want to get to. You understand?
I'm not cutting your but the fact and information available. They say, "Ora for a year more in there was this a year arrest warrant."
Okay.
On the part of Aya Kenufuriata.
Okay.
And somebody like Richard Jakpa, or you're in charge of special duties.
Okay.
And or no, your man no sa kwenyan so no okwa for arrest warrant and yes for search.
Okay.
And corner okwa no adibia mandated and I say from our
them.
Oh,
Alaska, this justification.
No, that was.
And I make right. It doesn't make sense.
So proceed.
Because from day one, the special prosecutor said he's not in the country.
That's right.
And there has been several correspondences exchanging back and forth. So even that explanation, you class said the matter.
Okay.
So Obi Oka so mo call some chicken for that and say munu no can because Omu himself from day one oniha. Alaska. Yen nyina enim se niema kenofori ataya no etan abufu
we want that particular guy to come and answer for his crimes. But you see, when you engage in some of these things, you know, divert amount for focus from the main issue. That is my point too. Because issue by also here Parliament, the other side and they're talking about the raid. But the core issue now, what the corruption cases and so forth. So you don't give them a reason.
Okay.
Say where you must sway from that particular thing.
To
speculate, and at the end of the day, you know, when a say you give people that kind of energy to talk about certain things.
Right.
That is what I'm saying. Say we need to focus on the key matter. It's a fact. Special prosecutor, I can say, Kenofurata are involved in a lot of criminal cases, and trust me, his level of involvement in a count any the ketwa because this SML deal may not have a count.
That's right.
Kwaya first one, you set up company
and
overnight.
You could not a judge, you indicted him.
Exactly. I can't want some national cathedral in some way. No one, want some better can afford a bit me, you know. So there are genuine issues, and you see, so what kind of correspondences from special prosecutor or Chelsea can afford a touch bromo, say or no on Tiapo, and he's seeking medical care indefinitely. Our America, Alaska. That particular way to cry, and I think that and not necessarily taking center stage. This is an immediate past finance minister of Ghana.
Okay.
What's in a chroma for almost 7 good years. Senka medical infrastructure will chroma papa. Obaswan who saw America kwa healthcare. This is a guy said what bon kwasi abosia for almost 7 good years. On enamneso and on minor bubuno.
That's right.
He couldn't even complete a single hospital anywhere. And then on Onya Kukodro Trobra special prosecutor say me wa Mayo Clinic, and it's one of the most expensive facilities in the world.
Exactly.
So on in America and time not the baban are indefinite. And I think that and as yes say interrogated those saying activities in our course within our politics. This is a finance minister. The capacity to ensure say your friends say health sector and infrastructure and as for scanning na ho na be fraba. Yantiana John Mahama Kosi Afari Hospital see Kumase. Omo tenase for 8 good years. Emma Hospital na tetia pansam. Endi Afari Hospital no ye na ye anka ba so kwa America. Ana nipa no mo Kumase no. Dodo say na betimi akoto go kura so mo kwahwe mo yare. But ende ono nya kokoduru aso anu ho gu alupre ma kwakwa tena ba bi say o sa no ho yade na onye ready opa asem bia pese obisa na bisa na lawyers. Na hwana see ehia o lawyers. And it looks as if all other guys that we are involved in, none of them seem to be in this country.
That's right.
Now the question is, wouldn't him say about Papa? Why are you running away? So wouldn't him say about Papa? That's a winye obia bonea. I don't know what to say now when I'm baby. Clearly they know what they have done, and it's the reason why they are using some of these things as an excuse. Or they running away from accountability. And for me, that is unfortunate. Is the reason why I may say the special prosecutor no I bet didn't attention you know about quite way so they want making sure say the persons involved no you ever find due process na ya no that's a prosecution be go through and this is kofa kwan bia so ebema asem no ebe na ten na kwakwa ya da foforo
I don't want to say the omaya no ma fa kwan so go say asem no
exactly
that's
because
right.
I know the national security seminar na eba mu no a divert amount for adwin from the main issues. And so we see Kisia being press conference no na or say onyansumo obia so obia nko
obia it was staged.
Yes. Or say so which means special prosecutor enim ho hwe so obi ko kendo for attack fie. And the question maybe some say these security agencies na no so no what is the level of intra-agency collaboration that exists among them?
That's right.
Obi operate independently. Ghana is not a rogue nation. Obi sorry the ope. There should be some proper coordination between the various security agencies in Nasafo. And Alaska, you and I him. Said the national security any standing army. The national security is supposed to be an intelligence organization responsible for intelligence gathering and processing.
Just
exactly.
That's right.
You do investigations. You gather intelligence, you now process it, and where it is necessary to route to other organizations, you coordinate another day, up to date. Wouldn't be a walker. But in recent times, the national security is noted for all silly reasons. Yes,
Afghanistan.
But they are not even supposed to carry guns and those things. Exactly. It is an intelligence organization. And the idea banner say here say. yeah search ya. Alaska, do you know what they're supposed to do? The police has a search your friends authority through warrant, you know. So either the police or any other institution, you know, you coordinate with them. So what is this culture of going to a man for fear with the army men? Soldier for a man for fear, one terrorist no more pursue on my side. It doesn't make sense. So I think I see a reset here. Some of these things, you know, has to be considered, because you cannot be going to people's house with the military men in uniform with guns and as for signing money barbaric.
That's right.
You don't need to do that. But the focus, you know, must be on the crimes these people have committed. Now national security, no, and stick it to the core responsibility, no, making sure say intelligence gathering is that kind of research, you know, more na. Emma a man for up to date on happenings around the world, no, and then that is what they are supposed to do, because some of these things, you know, you might not know. We a mistake we home Alaska. When sabesi form, the last time I make catch say in America, why your friends say September 11th attack it me see and say microphone mo kwaya sa de no na omo eba omudama America no na CIA was tracking them until say omo call Singapore koye omo flight your friend training na say for eje visa ebe wura America na CIA nim so omo ye terrorist omo ye niam the very moment they entered America you know the CIA doesn't have internal jurisdiction within America. So they were supposed to alert the FBI say Nkrofona yes survey outside America no. Say the omaba be wura omanum. They didn't. And Nkrofona be wura ekotua sika ko school kwaye say omukotwi plane ko sua plane twi. E de ko hijack plane na America because of intelligence failure, because they were supposed to inform FBI say you need jurisdiction to do internal investigation. Now Nkrofona here track omwamba.
So you need to take up.
You need to take up so that you be at the same level. That is what we are supposed to do here. But I know about national security namha yakwaji we car yakwakwe say yakwakobu we yakwa sande mani nema hunu. These are distractions. I think say the special prosecutor and the AG must focus on ensuring say Krono and Krofo Yabono, they don't go home scot free. But Ghanaians will not forgive them. Because Krono are course winning. SMLD I can set up company. Now within a short space. Company is also contracting, they are shooting it down. No, I see a company shooting it down. Yes, and they are subcontracting to a company or that. You never buy a hospital. Now main company no. Ama new one never taking over. A contract over billions of dollars. And in fraud and corruption, because Kendo Forata be to no catches oh man go through. Kendo Forata to meet in our office. Didn't sub-bomb mine sick me over by 16 million. Said Monfan National Cathedral seed money. No fun when these are crimes these people have committed and they must answer. And the contractor or sorry unilaterally, you know what they pay your term because I have first the president of us here. Sa niema we nyina nam so ma Ghana a lose huge sums of money and Ghana for want accountability. Now you making sure that we recover those money. And ade ba ko sama amanfo bisa a lot of questions has to do with the special prosecutor. The question is say sa crimes in as for aye kan nyina no. Na ye nim dada investigation no why now and aye kase ken for eta hia no. Show the weakness of institutions e okroma e suffer when government of the day no anya willing to cooperate. So we Abrantia no press conference no ye na ebia we said that tie nsem na all camp nsem na all can, but I didn't just listen to what he was saying. Me hwe the posture ni demeanor the tone e kira say this is a guy or say baby as a border no so na yayi na why free.
That's right.
So some kind of a personal emotions you cry because Nania just said this time he's free to do what he's supposed to do. And this a tie declaration no ye na or catch Kendo Forata wherever you are you have two choices and some no can chiro say this will be our me na say what turn is watch and na chiro say institutions e wo kroma no any freedom to operate.
That's right.
Say government no any ready to allow, and I think that is the freedom we need to accord state institutions and make sure say irrespective of whoever that is in government, you know, these institutions will have a free room to ensure say they work and work perfectly, because that is the only way. Alaska anyasa corruption cases never koswa na Kendo Forata and seven our can in semunu no to okeka we be say nese na tu na manager and na to na say we okeka kwase asem, because Alaska we are finance minister of Ghana immediate past 7 years you have no reason going out there say we seek medical care out there medical facility now bed no ha no it should be enough for you. My culture say, we are power bearer. The only time you can go outside to seek medical care is when the services you require cannot be provided within your jurisdiction. So you are going in a medical referral and it's different.
What's what money
Finance minister, what's the hospitals? And you have no sense of shame. You are bold enough to no toilet say may care outside. Why are you not seeking care in a country you were a finance minister in for 8 good years? I was an president.
Obia sending message into a possible say John Dramani man better Donald Trump say you find him Ghana.
Oh, na say na there we the obi bad here. So easy.
Okay.
But on the grounds of medical way na say for them no, e na be a challenge because there are humanitarian whole lot of involved. But the question is he willing to come home? That is the question because I would say let no come as special prosecutor now. Or say or seeking medical care indefinitely. That is the word he used. Exactly. Now when your doctor how do you write a letter say you are seeking care indefinitely? A communicating one thing, he's not ready to come. Corona Makacho say there is no way better no. There is nothing that Kenofurata can do to exonerate himself from what he has done. So the only way need to flee justice, and that's exactly what he's done. And I wonder why how Onya Quine appear core without I don't know when the investigation started.
That's right.
Because certain things should have been done earlier. Sabayas I never win no you better take care of. But anyway, Wakwako draw you the question is how do we ensure say you be holding accountable for the various things that he's done? Because Kenoforata cannot go scot free for the things he's done. And I know no kwa and now national service. Sa ba ya bi no all trend social matisa onu so yase onu so ayibam.
That's right.
Alaska onu so ayibam de no haka nwura. Enti these are people omoti kroma omumu nipa mfari nipa. Kasa radio so kasa fi kire Ghana for. Sana omu nyina omosan ye ka wo sanka ho. Why are you running? Alaska. Why are you running? Because this national service scandal is one of the biggest scandals I hit here.
Exactly.
And then me who name be so one Muslim name be within fear 42 Alaska yes so oko national service payroll onu kwa ni dia PM 23 times
onu kwa ni
yes we are UDS the same course and I had the salary for almost 8 good years one person 213 times and ni dia pay documents him and I had the salary so which means ya said that package ghost names are good but sasa kana ye wi ano that money anka yebetimi adobo no e de tia nkra no ka amasabi omotimi adiye kakra obi yiwe national service those time they were giving people 250 Ghana cedis it got to a point 500 Ghana cedis and then minimum be adru but Alaska na what akra ha ye adwuma na ye tia ka even less than 1000 pa abrabo be na odebebo 92.3 but these are people we expect them so about behind dan e dan so ohanya or national service 1 year nipa na ne dan no so oji 2 years in advance. Because on minor vision.
But Ivan, are you national service
1 year? Yes.
And then you saw high 2 years.
Yes. And then you know. That is the problem. And Sanyama way, you know, social issues you expect us to address. But your tenant say, I'm a back for office, baby. We are sick at Chichiri, say near the top football clubs near the Namha, and then on my life assistant.
I was Ivan, yeah, advocate the Council of State.
Alaska, yeah, how politics and I,
no, but you see, I was here at the Ivan Council of State.
There's
no commerce special advice.
Oh, yeah, higher politics and I, no,
many.
Yo. And see, Alaska, that is the truth. Because these are some of the things that, and this is repeating. Now you're making sure say you address some of these sensitive issues. The question is internal mechanism be na Alaska what say ahoto FM maybe una we ye fan say cashier na something na internally no afi be hia be kwakoye account no ye say Alaska na say hwan afasika over 200,000 Ghana. The question is emre na ade no kosoro what are the internal mechanisms and na e wo hwa na nka betimi a check ama yahu na yama nipa no wie sika no wie ansa na yama find out
kaba me adwuma bi was institutions bi na external auditors ne ba auditor no baba no kra no o ye de new pio go di fried rice na o baba
enti na make say me auditor general report me take it serious da.
Oh really?
Oh yeah, your man has enim nyansa. Now why will you sit down for the crime to be committed then 1 year after
then you bring out report
auditor general report what hunu book no be da
proof are
won't even for 10 years kran kan I'm telling you nti nyansa be the wom the following year another one will come because institutions know how the freedom to steal or we na ya the good book kase na ya ta bonte say kan o kan ma akoma atekeke the question is measures be na yedi gu ho at the your friends institutional level no to curtail some of these happenings and then say who ye baby by the be at when I see we na yaba how can one person sit at the National Service Secretariat and commit such a crime?
81,000 ghost names.
Yes.
And that is a shutdown of the system. Deliberately shutdown of the system.
We are babontin. A media been a quarter na kwaya na dwuma o. A for state for investigation
that's right. That's right.
And which means state na nkasa kwa no any mechanism to unnerve some of these things. A problem. That is why I'm can say I don't want to see this fanfare. I say you who said the whole governance na yete who say no e kuro na ye ba be mia. So we need to look at all aspects. Na ya dissect na ye who what we want. Na enye say ya banti position abu o me pe we na magrabu we I know the day no the core issues that must be addressed no be forget it. When nipa ni nya to me we are onfa wonya hwe biem. And no be frame e wo media station say nipa bi o mo ye an interview every day. Omo friend na interview na omo friend na 2 weeks in there peke krom peke
the life assessor
that is how stupid some black people are onya to me na dwen say oh we do different level.
Dominic Nitiwo onya position radio stations friend no say to me friend ma jo na mo ma me 5 minutes
and you see Alaska in life no ho obese early exposure to Adibi friend impermanence.
That's right.
So we will be a nyansania, you'll be guided by that. Nothing lasts forever. Kanoforata was an all-powerful person. No, beyond me Kanasebo.
That's right.
Akufo-Addo Abayimu. I'm told that Kanoforata was the most powerful person in Akufo-Addo's government. And or a fugitive or the hospital and their cover no. And the power no, there is nothing new under the sun.
Right.
I've been see that. And to win to me, be reasonable, be sensible, and humble yourself. And know, sir, you are working for people. You understand? So, Alaska, I think that going forward, things that we need to do has to do, say, Yadin say, near me go akwemu. Na sa krono akase we ya kokokosi. Ye betimi aye ne si anokwan. And back to Attorney General case na what discontinue no. Alaska. Da bia meka ade aye politics na ye.
That's right.
In politics, perception is very, very, very key. Me know we can sit here and admit say most of the cases are na Akufo-Addo aban fire no or prosecute no. Do na nyansa nim. Most of them were political saying a prosecution. Na there is no way ubetimi situate no in any reasonable or sensible contest. Nipa baka say oh ade we these are legal basis na for clearly no now it was persecution and a persecute a man for but the thing is because of public perception in that kind of way I was expecting say most of the cases you don't just discontinue but rather you make sure say you end them, you understand, so that you don't create any impression because politically once you do these things you give other people energy to talk. You understand? Because some of the cases, they were fragile cases. There was no way on betting standing the test of time or court. So you don't discontinue them. You allow them to proceed to their illogical conclusion so that you distill that impression. Because the very moment you move into the continue all the cases, a man for Benya Jimby said, oh, what by? And I will discontinue cases. Okay. But these cases don't have merit.
That's right.
I can cite a number of cases that not merit to be a name. One has to do with charm and issue. Clearly, it was just political persecution and no more. Say yen jojo ni yen chichon from. But you see, because any normal prosecution, your politics perception is key. There are most of them are. You know they are you allow them to fly to their end. They die and they become dead and done because judgment has been given on such cases. Because most of them are who discontinue in the future
Obi Bob to be resurrected.
What has ever made? So I think some of the things, you just have to be very tactical. Now who say domain now we are doing politics and perception is key because I don't know one mistake or something is he didn't assign justification and reasons as to why he took those decisions. Backlash initially says and then a week after yesterday he did a press conference.
That's right, to explain
why will you come back after 1 week. It means the public bashing and the criticism but some of these things you explain before anything, you understand. So I think they're going forward
right.
These are some of the minor mistakes you don't repeat. Sabe embodying trust and confidence in a man for who said baby we are really heading somewhere and we are really serious. So Alaska may end cases of corruption now I think that we need to pursue them. We need to pursue them with all seriousness. And na ye ma ade bia ma divert it like this. Your friend saying near bit is a national security issue by
right.
Now I bet take the shine off. No, let us stay focused. Ghana for are interested. Ghana for want to recover their money. Obia we your mind sika bia wan fa kwan papa so anwie bia no. We need to make sure that we prosecute those people. Sabe beda insana ho ama for and nothing should distract her. And kind of orata is one of those persons and several others. As I gives you a warrant and as for national security and other people are people at the center of these things. Ghana for want to see what will become of these issues. They are very essential, very critical. So they should not allow anything to come in and cause anything about take away value in this case because Ghana for are interested and they will not forgive government if the government end up shirking this sacred responsibility because Alaska Krono na air cost kroma no one thing Emma man for Akuma to 2 years and we cannot allow it to continue.
Right. That was Ivan Che Innocent. Obia sending message. Also Alaska. Mr. Kendi who suggestion is Ivan any part of the Council of States. Contractor Penny Bia sending message. Also Alaska. Mitrima Ivan. Nemom. Over a lot of issues about Afenyo Mackinsa. Say or say ope baby or the beko. Na criminality na on lusu ni seat. Yes, you for the past 2.5 years, road fund bought chema or your wine. That's a road fund bought chema or your wine. You for your market. You every month, sika pay no the coffee for free.
Alaska, I for your market on the name honor. I'll now head near my kwa ya and now a fan of Siaqua. Alaska, your mother yan no cresa.
Right.
And I think that we need to probe seriously into some of these issues.
Meda say, me come over me ba. Alan the Grand Kwanzaa ever.
I can read your mind.
054757.
You ask Kofi.
That you are not an arm robber.
Yes. Today we have Piccadilly armed robbers in our financial sector. We know them. They collapse.
Piccadilly armed robbers.
Yes. That's what we have now. Who roam in white dresses and quote the Bible. That's what we have today. And when they do, people defend them because they look like pastors.
The president will not be there to show
92.3.
you carry your own cross today.
I'm not in a self for a second for that time and so on.
That is it. You carry your own cross.
Ahuto FM 92.3.
What ro ediaba? So we yare. Na yesa yare so wo yare so my timeline so. Wo che emra. Sir, eso unya ho po na waba.
Chese untumi mind.
Eso wo no nkwa no ekura wankasa wonsem. That is what Ken Ufanata wants to tell Ghanaians. Boom. All this attitude of the Rambo star. Kasa jakpa ekokoye no. What has been the modus of operandi? The modus of operandi, just as we are exiting power, what has been the modus operandi of the MPP? Nado dankwa kufuado ngaban. Ene niyama omadani di eda che. Eno ena ko ma jakpa ho kwan. Se wo se dwumadi e de di omu bi no na ye ba no so no. Ensama Ghana fo ka che ne se. Si enim na se ya hwe han. Na se sankrofu dwuma mu di ye ne amfa bi e di omu a. Mo bi se asem.
And the tit for tat.
That is it.
Na no ebeboa.
And I'm just giving you the background. That is not to justify what you say, but I'm just giving you the background. Because as if I can't walk up and
that's right.
What you say. And it's a BCC at every given time, We the NDC, you know, you are turning a new leaf in order to set the record straight and to build Ghana for the future.
Okay.
In the year 2009, time my His Excellency Professor John Ivan Satamos Ebabemu, with all the rot a car Ghana under His Excellency John Ejekun Kufuor, assembling and upia the share many say. Despite the financial difficulty we came to meet, we were compelled to swallow a humble pie. And then the finance minister, Dr. Kobla Dufour, had to tell the World Bank, despite the rot that is facing us in the face, catch up to the economy is challenged, but it is not bankrupt. And I understand what he said. We were compared, but the issue is that what they did to us in the year 2000, 2001,
very bad.
Very bad. And if we are going on the same tangent, probably Ghanaians would have understood us. But because we conceal on the issue of diplomacy,
just to make their country look good.
Good for Ghana and for man and country.
FM 92.3.
And so we conceal some of these things to paint a certain picture outside. So the bear Ghana, a bit many dimpa, a woman on it, and the cocoa we say. A cocoa we are by catcher and say, Yen Chiomo, Nipa do 8 million 2 fiasi. Was Subo baby by the Bominano, Nipa do say. And no one wait me do to fiase. Once a woman near dear.
Someone say a bokra no a yemu he
and no
to me ejele. That's right.
Ahoto FM 92.3.
And in as much say, yeah, just say was a review when I was a year niama. Send a baby use intelligence. Net me at that issue. Send a bass only who can gradually pay the intelligence na building no. A baby reach no. The nipa ne year no edinba ko she be esefata. Sine ba yen create euphoria. Ebe man sem na say woodie na nipa di no. Euphoria ne ye create around no. Ebe kata woodie no so. But the fact of the matter ne say nipa no agina parliament na all kan ansem no. On bisa no ho say does he have that moral right? So bekemu ana.
Ahoto FM 92.3.
What was their modus operandi? How were they behaving? Just last year, are we not in this country? When a pastor, or you are affiliated to them, when they have issues with you, the journalists, you will get military men to follow him and enter the studio.
That's right.
And misbehave towards you and do whatever, what guns all over the place. But you see, NDC has always sought to chart a course that will be in the interest of Ghana. So my brother Ivan, fine gentleman, is advocating for what the NDC that he belongs to has to do because of human rights. But these people will never think of human rights in the first place.
FM
when you go down your knees at the Jisu and you were shooting, directing guns and you were shooting them, were they animals? But you shot at them.
FM
Just come on elections. At Ayowaso Wagon. Look at the guns you wielded. You shot at people's leg, break their legs. Today, when it was getting time, the imams and the peace council in some of them catching. And sometimes, you know, I yell. Now, maybe I may hear a little bit of regression. Sure, so I jackpa and not 2 force in case. So, yes, say, who say, baby, I near Marcono. The likely say end this way to me in Kunim. I'm telling you, that judge who took a position. And the higher friends court that rule to reverse and decide they should go back. No, I'm telling you, it would have been a different ball game altogether.
They would have jailed out of force.
They would have jailed him. And so Jackpa is doing this thing out of pain.
That's right.
He's doing this thing out of pain because he had the young now find you
got one of air correspondents about Christ said, Kenofuriata any nanado and I catch it yen jail.
I mean, you are getting what I'm coming from. He's doing it out of pain. Because all the hear me, what's not say, meaning, Unim said, the old Yemen, and ya, dear Menisha Alaska, you will chroma so.
FM 92.3.
Chachukata, Nebonia or ye anything. So, as youthful and intelligent as this man was, let all the exploration in terms of oil in this country, aside what, yeah, Papa, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah shall say. Fly Lieutenant General John Rawlings by as bright as young as he was. These were the youthful brains that he was using, intelligent as they were. And all the exploration they did around this country, that today has made Ghana an oil country. Kufuor by what did he do to Chachugata?
He jailed him.
He jailed him.
FM 92.3.
Meanwhile, he knew very well that what he was doing was wrong. Where to Kwanas Wakwaba? That's also the Assembly Court. Nasa Uji Kamemi Kabia Mumwodi. Nasa would you believe the rule of law. Nasa my judgment. Nasa Nipano Swan. Also, let me empower the judicial system to go by and ensure that this very person is put back to a friend saying behind bars. And then when he went to court, the very day his lawyers were not there, no, they just sitting in the seats to say who call a lawyer to me defend. All this is happening in this country. And at the end of the day, when Chachu who catch and so who are granting a friend saying amnesty, and he went to court to justify was Chachu proven wrong or he was proven right. So you were killing an innocent man for no wrong done. That is the livelihood of the people that we are dealing with. And so sometimes when people are doing certain things against them, no, look at who is talking. Look at the African talking. Are we not in this country when our founder, His Excellency Fly Lieutenant General John Rawlings, having handed over power peacefully, when he Kufuor was not even sure that Papa we at the Mumbo ever sent 24/7 Moaks were parked at a distance from his house. We witnessed it in this country. Yesterday, somebody. I can say, but because I believe in Ghanaians, but 24/7 Moaks were parked about 200 meters from his house. We fear being more man who can say, boom, and also own freedom. And all this is happening in this country. When was Achikata arrested? Was he not in the church? People, what happened to them? All these things has happened in this country. You see, these people cannot be left alone, despite the crimes they have committed against this country. Sometimes, no. It is because of the way the NDC has been brought and the fine judgment that is the NDC. And so, decent minds will prevail. And sometimes when you want to do something, the likes of Ivan and other people in his capacity, and fine gentlemen will speak to issues. And then you will compare to call back. You understand? You will compare to call back. But the things that these people it's not hard. Oh man, women say say you never corner sir. You bet no kumusa. And then own the why. Wo Capital Bank. A friend secretary or whatever is that not it? Also watch your mood go fias you. And I will turn off which your mood go fias you. Your turn off of when your tenor was office ending and that was any pana as a grant of amnesty. It's not an Akufo-Addo. So what is the essence of first? What did you see before you incarcerated them? You see, these are the caliber of people we are dealing with. But I see all these things, you know, Ghana, and ye penny ye doya who ye feel the same city piano. I was saying to me, Boo man, send a bay in every team, I call man, a chineby hunti. Nene, oh, Ababawa. To meet the National Service Secretariat on me. Not a year. Which me boo or manka. Is it for 4.7 million, 47 million dollars? NAPCO is collapsing. And you are telling me that the government is not aware of this. And that all these findings will not be seen despite gift miss. What is the essence of establishing gift miss? Ask me, sir. What is the purpose of establishing give miss? It's not to identify some of these things. So where did give miss go?
For fourth estate of the red, I was a woman.
Yes, where did give miss go?
So all the payments were being done outside the give miss platform.
Deliberately.
But the people only a criminals.
I'm telling you.
I'm robbers.
Thank you. And these people will perpetuate all this act. Last week, Mitina Kacha was say, Alaska. Who therefore we need to on more next the all Greater Accra region, most of the major road infrastructure development and who stand of office and they initiate you.
And this is on
8 years down the lane. What were these people able to add? Or no onye or befa nyansa kwan so abro any beye kwan so no create a certain impression in the minds of people said the opel and so do all I saw about fiao or kika no ye no I did better on best, so no one say, Coop, Pacha, and down now. So now, of people Alaska, we are dealing with. But you see, Yes, Ayaga has spoken. And when you go to the social media handle, the way people are bashing you.
That's right.
You understand? Because based on what the NDC today, it decided to obey in Yama. But once the masses out there, but leadership will find ways and means to get the masses to succumb.
That's right.
To the thinking of the Ayarigas and my brother Ivan.
Right.
So that Ghana will be a peaceful country for all of us to stay in. So we pray that people are on my end amongst them, Nema and Sem Fata. Now, comfort the Ojino Suyade. Ninu abema kromfo the odije no so ye den na ene na na bia nya ho kwan. I look at this nonsense. Who a friend say Osafo Mafo in the year 2017 when people were recruited, what does Osafo Mafo say? Asema Osafo Mafo kai na hina in his right senses aban onu ya to no so aba aye yi na si nchen on 7 December aban ni nim says 7 December na yi na si nchen no enya ade a oba betwa na mamusu biom enti ne pa ben odokwakobe dia brɛ na se ye koka se yenye sei ade a wo waye bida ene wo nya ho kwan wo ka OSP asema on fa no so gongo si on mo no asaka kofa we into these people now ask myself, do they really think about Ghanaians? Say and and now when you go to TikTok and other places, you know, look at the kind of projections that they are trying to do. It's sad. But the only thing is that you're straight penny for. Yen fa Nancy form because the only way Ghana for ebetimi ekran yedim pam na amatimi NDC and his excellency John Dramani Tima ko enim no say ennuamon sem kro no ene katase na pro na ekọ so no wo mamu no obedi ni nyina chi pepepe na sika ayirayen. We have a
payroll for every department and every sector institution in this country. So if I'm appointed a new minister and your payroll, you are not on the payroll till December, the day of the election, and you're going to appear on the payroll for January, when were you engaged in that particular thing? You are going to create a problem. If names appear on the payroll after December, we definitely will lay them off quietly.
2.3.
So, what do we do wrong?
Right. Alan the Graph concert, but I say, I'm sure this takes us to 25 minutes into 4 p.m. My main social message is Kakraba. Alaska, catch the national executive, so my Swano DC Papao. My main Sam show we should do the about Paul Amenosoji, Syria call ambassador Alaska the door. I see MP before ni one would do Oman Ghana Kanyana no. Ye catch the woman say, Ome to me Johnny, but Omun to me te. Also to show no Ewa Masamai. Come nevi anyway for Pokwasi Bengazi, also special prosecutor, Emmanuel Tateni Kenufrata. So be Jano Sonko, non Tenasi, non church on Yama Hunubiake. And from Roma Ghana, no man Mrawum. My family very last one. Also last coming, also majority leader at disappointed Ghana for. I don't know, all patch I say Kenofurata or a fugitive. Hassan Ayariga or say on your steady. I don't know, officer Yenya maybe person or police MPP, sir. Asa, your brother in your power. Now also saw Kurumfosua. That is only an echo. Alaska, say you're from fresh cooking for Kunfi Bram, but say me war Ashama Yangubo in Shirao. Ivan, I'm sure any other matters.
Yeah, Alaska, I think this particular issue where issue about Ghana for our interest, our Mankasa. This kind of Oriata OSP issue and details are yet to emerge though because on Mankasa the side of we know Obianyanti because there's justice natural justice a demand this you hear from whoever accused
now one gas now can afford one we
say we were say one man of Kwanya. But I think we need to show some seriousness.
Okay.
Because it looks as if you see some of these giddy after 1 month after we that is one thing Ghanaians want to see, sir. This time around things will be different.
Okay.
And the posturing of the special prosecutor though might appear a bit dramatic, but that is not what I'm looking at. I am looking at the core issues. I end up pinning these critical issues at Ghana for you much interested. Well, Alaska. So what has circumstances I have found so you go banks will chrome has say. A quartam over about 25 billion. A quartu qua. I'm for swam so I ne banks no do nonsense and ho and see ho. Anyway beyond they can go off from the system.
That's right.
Tabo mine sika de see consolidated bank. Bank no so okofa your friend is saying audit now hear the state of that particular bank now. You know, sir. And no grab or catching banks now. Good. So, Nema ye canon, yes, sir. Adia assisa keke. These are things that deliberately engineered and orchestrated by these individuals because the intent, was so malicious. These people, you go after them. Now, no meti interview be a gongo. And we tell some non fan so I'm license free in seminar. Those issues had nothing to do with whether the banking was strong or not. Your personal issues are yes, and some more court until you are some more court until your bank through some. Enti and nka special prosecutor African Noforeta or investigating in the so no so a subject of criminal inquiry.
That's right.
In the Bank of Ghana director say my data bank through some. Nti we nya power now say umfa nyansa dia but you see would the bonne bedi wachi kind of fata na when home turn da wo na the last time but na video catch us said the guy is sick I told you go hu nanim a hwe nkire we asisi katitira osesa ye nyina na we na odete your friend say we kura wo de na ba na nsa wan ben sa wan no beduru mpo de
o say
nsa wan no beduru ho you see we need to be very
obedu accident say ka na ko
say twi na ye kan no so beduru nsa wan mpo de a so you see wonya tumi a use it to do good things na fa bo nipa fa ya de papa enka ya ba mfomso bi kura ko ba bia nipa be kan bia ma wo. But we are talking about people they used all their time they bo abro akwasa panyina otifie kasiem na ode ne sika nyina di nsem hunu na wabubu agudam ofie ho bia mfiu.
That's right.
Obeda hwa sabi ukwakogya wo na ba wea na wakopie toilet so because wunya sika no sabi nsem hunu na didi ye do bia will not come to your aid. That's exactly what is playing out. And this some no can no for ata can be man enye because of abrabom be na wo kan se nkra na kan ye because I miss catch banking sector kwan for so ye good banks wo kroma it create huge unemployment because they thought that power no ended that akwaya na no nwi oto keka nsem hu no osafo mafo yi in a meeting and all can say you revoke appointment of people ya form after 7th December. It made sense at the time. It should make sense this time.
And this time when people Lambasu were quiet. Yeah? You should have come and defend the stance as then, or is that not it?
Exactly. But you see, me, some of these politics, I'm not interested in those things. I'm expecting that. You see, Alaska, there should be a proper legal framework. Either you can do recruitment or you cannot do recruitment. What can be done? These are some of the things that it should be there. We should not create a vacuum. Immediately after, you see, I know man American you're serious. Until 7 Syria. Now for na dan because this particular issue shouldn't be an issue. As your friend is saying, president ne way never be issue statement. They about one thing. Yeah, my friend is saying. No. The chief of staff.
Callistos.
No, chief of staff.
Yeah, Julius.
Yes, you don't need chief of staff because there should be a definitive way. These are the mra because I have problem because I ask say governance and you are there to solve a problem. So whenever you see that this thing is a potential problem, you move in to create solution for it. We know that this thing has been a problem over the years. So solution be na there to her. And the abai and maybe beba MPP for so and answer any other political parties who be boy play back and a lot will be going, which means that we are not finding solution to some of these challenges. And I think here amamona ye no ye di sua de na ye kwa ye nim sabe ya nema besisi ye.
Okay, so we are not growing.
Oh no Alaska ana ye grow anka ye wie ye ne. Oman we timi governance ne policy ye grow anka ye wie ye ne. 30 years to how many years in here? Baby yeti ane yeti. omo nya akwan omu wia no gusu no mu wia e na ahiafo gusu no mo ye ahiafo. The gap is widening. Nobody is taking care of anybody. And the system ni yegum enti that sorry a obese udu ti boboma na esi wi ase wiye and the youth ni obi afa the bag otu kwan ko onim so oman na da achi bi anim omo ye na no mu ye abo akoso abo mo busiafo. There are no social system, any mechanism anywhere a create wealth for people. Opportunities are among for leverage to bring the best out of them. Those incentives are not there. Who your business are obi a young person a was starting business bribe or ube to and a business required to make the nice no and the ketwa. These are some of the problems. Governance should be a solution or a tool to addressing some of these basic challenges taking away development from the people. Because I might be able to first the people in the country must first develop.
That's right.
It is the development of the people that will translate into a national wealth. Oko America yeah. America no nye nipa o. Individual citizens no mo your mind no. Niam of my your modi and they translate it into the wealth of a country. By a hano, the people are not seeing wealth. Nobody is creating opportunities and incentive among for leverage. Ya buy ya incro for near paper whether they call na ya gum wo ya 4 years now so. Near koto about another wo ya. I think this should be a turning point. And turning point, must be for a reason. I created those avenues and opportunity incentives. Alaska Makacho say, we see abontia. There is no single person abeshiana as your only potential wonimu. Whether say the paninya that you go school, one go school, or be and what would never be any ye. Now you know mutu kwankwa manoni. Do not send a master's degree, first degree, don't send a DB course.
That's right.
But they come back home
and make it in life.
Because you have structured the economy and the system in such a way, say the utie bia obenya so no de. Ibi uti hwicha ya mkura na obenya so no de. Obia na ne de. Our system no make sure say take care of obia. Alaska, we ya adwuma na obenya sika, you will not have to depend on one another. But no one person na okọ wura adwuma mu no, eso owia no wia more. Na watimi supply man nkrofo na busuafo. And system also has been created rendered bare. Obia hold obi accountable. Ena nipa no kodi nsemu na to de nia. Obenya tita form ye be Ghana nkwa na obi kọbọ kro no a yenya nipa me defender. Kanoforata he is not here. Or the hospital baby share social media sere. MPP na amamfo abotai at social media defender no.
Our parliament.
Our parliament. And nipa we amamfo su say unye bone. Let us go through the issues. Na yan clear okra na honto because me I prefer to be cleared than say as a me dwane away if I know say me nya bone I don't know the message be na send it to people out there. These people can evade justice, but the otia kura ba bia say a comedy na wakotu obi ba nche the time na 60 years na de nakotum 90 years na de nakotum na no parliament yes abrante bi nam na ode dua bobo amanfo ka hwehwem. I'm told they are jailing over about 30 something years. Kunya keka microphone bo from na